Hello and welcome back to Come Geek Some. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for all future content. Today seems to be that we're just going to be doing videos which are not really about anime or geek stuff sort of thing. But since I am a British YouTuber and my channel is mostly like a commentary channel, I do feel like I have to actually report on the ImAllexx accusations and everything else, because this is just something you don't do, man. You don't do this, you know? So, ImAllexx, he is a British YouTuber. He does basically commentary channels and all this kind of stuff, and he calls himself an internet sensation. But a lot of people may know that over the last couple of weeks, he's actually accused a fellow YouTuber as this. I'm not going to say it, but I'll put the words up on the screen. So, what all this is abusing from is that ImAllexx, he actually had Slazo over his house. So, it's Michael, and he was living with Alex, he was living with Alex for a while, they're mates, they're friends. And all this happened and all this kind of stuff. But ImAllexx, he decided to go out of his own way, and when this guy who was living with him, when Slazo was living with him, Slazo's ex-girlfriend, Shay, she posted a Twitter longer on Twitter, obviously, and she made some shocking accusations against Slazo. And what it was, Alex decided to not take the side of his friend who was living with him at that time, but with the ex-girlfriend. And this, I'm going to read this by here now, say this from their website, this is what she was actually saying. So, Michael was incredibly demanding of favours and would often guilt or force me into situations to which I was not comfortable. If I was to try and deny or argue against him, he would become aggressive. Michael would often yell or become obsessed when I refused or said I was not in the mood. To this, the only way to calm him down was for me to send him images or undress on camera. We lived 3 hours away from each other by train, so most of the time it was our only contact. So, with that there, obviously, straight away, Alex decided to speak with her in DMs and all this kind of stuff. And this is where Alex came out and started saying that he was this. It's like, what the hell are you doing? This is the guy who you let live with you. This is the guy you supposedly called your friend. And it's like, dude, what you've done, you've kind of destroyed someone's life here. Because obviously he's got all these claims against him. And again, it's innocent until proven guilty, mate. This is what's going on with the world of social media. Someone can say something and all of a sudden, people will actually believe that because it's on social media. Alex knows this. Alex knows how to get viewers to his site, and he knew that this would cause some kind of controversy for him. Slazo actually did respond to Shay's allegation in a video he posted, refuting all these claims. He specifically talked about one instance where they went on a first date together, and then Shay described as uncomfortable as he touched me in the cinema despite me never kissing someone before. And so what he's actually come out and said is the following. It's true that we did meet on our first date and we did go to the cinema. It was very awkward. We'd only talked online before that. Neither of us really knew what we were doing too well. We went to the cinema, we had our first kiss, our teeth hit each other's, neither of us knew what we were doing. I was willing to call it quits there when she pulls my hand down and says to touch her. So with all that then, obviously, he does say that it was basically mutual between the two. But again, when you go on Twitter and you say something, this day and age, people tend to believe it. Say Slazo, he then went on to claim that he never got the impression she was uncomfortable. He showed off screenshots where him and his ex-girlfriend were seemingly happy with that aspect of their relationship. They also alleged that some of the texts that she showed off in her Twitter longer were jokes, and that they shouldn't have been taken seriously. But with that, though, that's when you actually had ImAllexx. He said, yes, I knew they were jokes. It's like, dude, you never. That's why, if you knew they were jokes, you wouldn't have said what you said. But when ImAllexx, when he replied to Shay's Twitter longer post, a tweet of his own, he supported her and obviously her claims or whatever, but he had Slazo in his house. He was living with him. He was staying with him. And it's just like, you don't do that to your mate. It's, this is the tweet that Alex actually sent. It's incredibly brave to speak out about your experience. I hope he doesn't get to continue doing this to other impressionable people. Those messages make me feel ill. People go back to abusers. I don't think the idea of what that is far-fetched, honestly. All I've seen is him admit to what was put in the screenshots. Sorry that this is being dragged out, Shay. And again, this was in relation to, Slazo defended himself on Keemstar's drama alert, saying people go back to abusers and all that kind of stuff. And when the only aspect I cannot get over at this moment in time is that he was staying with Alex, They were friends. It was almost like he kind of knew this situation was going to come out or something like that, because the way he's just gone about this is just despicable. He hasn't even appeared to say sorry or anything. This is, say it's the 19th of July now, and all of this, he started saying it on June the 10th. He's had well over a month. He's had about 2 or 3 weeks as well to say sorry and everything else, but it just hasn't happened. Keemstar, he actually came into the conversation on July the 9th, where he sent out this tweet. I'm tempted to make a video on ImAllexx for pushing false charges on an innocent man. Going to give him a day to make a real apology. And with that, same day, ImAllexx replied to him, I have not called Slazo this, Keem, and you full well know that I have not once referred to him as this. Saying I have is simply untrue. But thing is, though, with that, we know he hasn't called him that, but the way he has gone about all of this, he has pushed the false charges into people's face. Again, Kvass, he got back into it as well. He replied to him. Guys, Alex never referred to Slazo as this. Instead, he fully supported false allegations, lied to all of his followers about Slazo and tried to make him out to be a nonce. I don't think anyone cares about you specifically calling him this, at ImAllexx. And with that, again, he hasn't responded to anyone, he hasn't really said sorry or nothing, and it's very kind of sad that he hasn't said sorry, because this is huge. It's huge for the YouTube community, to be honest with you. Again, because when you got people like this who are saying a YouTuber has done that, and then obviously you got other YouTubers having a go at them and doing all this, it does look very, very suspicious. But again, just 4 days ago, Kvass and Keemstar claimed to have discovered proof that Alex planned to take down Slazo in the series of Discord messages. This is absolutely crazy. So this is actually a screenshot of Kvass on July the 16th, so 3 days ago. DMs leaked showing huge YouTubers planning to take down Slazo with these allegations. How the F can you support any of these creators, especially ImAllexx? And in those screenshots we have, probably, obviously, ImAllexx. Look, I reckon we need to try get it out soon. Want to make sure that he can't continue. Whatever makes that happen, I support. Yes, same. With events coming up, I want to make sure no one else associates with him. They are literally trying to deplatform a guy because allegations have come out against him. Again, this is very similar to the Vic Mignogna situation. Someone has come out with allegations and all of a sudden people are like, yeah, get rid of him. It's like, well, he's denied everything. Again, it's innocent until proven guilty. But when you have someone like ImAllexx, who, he says he's an internet sensation and he has got a couple of million followers, it does show that what people on social media actually think of this sort of thing. But carrying on, when it goes on, so drama alert, he did host a follow-up with a tweet of his own addressing Alex directly, saying, we now have proof, ImAllexx, that you planned, organised false allegations on Slazo, and fellow YouTuber and so-called friend that makes similar content to Alex. Allegations that you knew Alex were 100% false, because you were literally there. And in the Keemstar tweet, obviously he's got 2 photos of Alex with Slazo and also a few other people. So, but again, Alex, he hasn't come out and he hasn't defended himself. He hasn't even apologised to anything. And it's really funny now because he needs to apologise, but he's not going to because, again, he's that type of person. And, with the Keemstar tweet, he did come back and say something to him. As said in that DM, I said I'd support the people who came forward as I believe the victims who had contacted us. I'm not trying to falsely accuse anyone of anything, just support my friends who were going through a hard time at the hands of another as it seemed the right thing. But again, it's allegations, police weren't involved and all this kind of stuff. Again, it's very similar to the Vic Mignogna situation. And one of the funniest things, with Alex saying that tweet there, you actually had Kvass come back with this. F off, ha 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 ha. You wanted to make sure he couldn't continue. Whatever makes that happen, I support. What does that mean then? You're such a little pea, you. 2. Only replying when Keem tweets because you're scared he has more clout than you. Disingenuous, just trying to save your own ass. And with that, obviously Alex came back and replied to Kvass with, whether they wanted to go to the police or not, I would support their decision on how they wanted to deal with it. I was just consoling someone who seemed to be in a lot of distress. And Kvass went back to him with, still not admitting you're wrong and being a bitch. Please just stop commentary, you're a danger to this platform. And that's really it at this moment in time. He still hasn't apologised. But when you get someone who goes out of their way, who has actually a bit of clout, like Alex does, obviously 1.5 million subscribers, he has a wide reach. And when he goes and says something like this on Twitter or whatever social platform, people are going to believe him. And people will follow him no matter what he says. So with him not coming out and apologising for anything, because he knows it will ruin him. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see all you lovely people soon.